Have you ever stumbled upon a story that seems simple at first glance but hides layers of intrigue and mystery beneath? Today I'm diving deep into one such tale, a biblical parable that has puzzled scholars and believers alike for centuries. This is the story of the parable of the weeds, or as some might call it, the tares. From the Gospel of Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 to 30. The parable goes something like this. A man sows good seed in his field, but while everyone is sleeping, his enemy comes and sows weeds among the wheat and then goes away. When the wheat sprouts and forms heads, the weeds also appear. The owner's servants are baffled and ask if they should pull up the weeds. No, he replies, because while you are pulling the weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At that time I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat and bring it into my barn. On the surface, it's a straightforward agricultural problem, but as with many parables, the real message is veiled. This story is not just about farming. It's a complex metaphor for the coexistence of good and evil and the ultimate judgment. Why did the owner decide to let both the wheat and the weeds grow together? Could this be an ancient acknowledgement of the complex human condition? A recognition that good and evil are often intertwined, inseparable until the end of times. Scholars have debated the interpretation of this parable for ages. Some see it as a caution against premature judgment. How often do we judge what we see without understanding the true nature of things? This parable challenges us to think about patience and the finality of justice. But let's dig deeper. The weeds in this parable are identified specifically as tares, a type of weed that closely resembles wheat in its early stages. The similarity between the wheat and the tares can be seen as a powerful metaphor for the difficulty in distinguishing between right and wrong, true and false, especially when they are so closely linked. And what about the enemy who sows the tares? This character introduces the element of intentional evil, sabotage by those who wish to disrupt and destroy. It raises questions about the nature of evil and its origins. Is evil always an external force, or can it sometimes arise amidst the good? As the story concludes with the harvest, a final separation occurs. It's a grim reminder that judgments do come, perhaps later than we might like, but they are inevitable and final. The burning of the weeds is stark and final, unyielding in its delivery of justice. This parable, dark and enigmatic, invites us to reflect on our own lives, our judgments, and our perceptions of others. Are we quick to separate the wheat from the tares within ourselves and in others? Or do we acknowledge that sometimes things are not just black or white? The parable of the weeds teaches us about patience, judgment, and the often indistinguishable nature of good and evil. As we navigate through our own fields, may we learn to wait, watch, and discern wisely until the time of our own harvests. Thank you for joining me on this mysterious journey through one of the Bible's most intriguing parables. Until next time, keep seeking the deeper truths hidden in plain sight.